The collapse of America's biggest retail chains is happening right now. McDonald's, Walmart, and many other companies are shutting down their doors for good. But why is this happening all across the United States and even across the world? And what should we do to prepare for this looming economic collapse? Well, 2023 is a year that we will see many retail stores face a very difficult time. It is expected that some big retailers around the world may even cease to exist. In the United States alone, the retail industry is expected to lose up to 85,000 jobs in 2023 as retailers continue to downsize and close unprofitable stores. Reports suggest that at least 10 top retailers in the U.S. will close their stores this year due to economic and business conditions. The shutdown of these 10 retail stores in the United States can be viewed as a repercussion of the economic crisis that has engulfed many industries and businesses. These store closures are going to affect thousands of employees who worked in these stores, as well as other sectors of the economy, such as construction and real estate. We will explore these 10 retailers and their reasons for closing down their stores this year. We will also examine the impact of this decision on employment opportunities, as well as what measures can be taken ahead of time to avoid a similar situation in other parts of the economy. First on this list is Sears Holdings, which owns both Sears and Kmart. The company announced in January that they would be closing 39 stores this year. This comes after the company shut down 230 stores in just 2022 alone. The retail industry has been hit very hard by the rise of e-commerce, and Sears has been no exception. They have struggled to keep up with competitors such as Walmart and Amazon, and as a result have been forced to downsize. It has been a slow, quiet death for the iconic chain. When Sears and Kmart merged in 2005, they counted 3,500 U.S. stores between them and more than 300,000 employees. But both brands were already in a downward spiral. After the merge, the company concentrated on selling off its more attractive real estate and buying back stock in an effort to prop up its declining share price, rather than investing in modernizing stores to make them more competitive. It is also important to note that the company has not made a full-year profit since 2011. As of now, there are 17 full-line Sears stores, Sears Appliance and Mattress, and Sears Home and Life stores remaining. JCPenney is another retail giant that is expected to shut down locations this year. The company filed for bankruptcy in 2020, and since then, they have closed over 150 stores. In January 2023, the company announced they would be closing another 25 stores. Just like Sears, JCPenney has struggled to adapt to changing consumer preferences and the rise of online shopping. The crisis in 2020 also dealt a major blow to JCPenney's business, as lockdowns and social distancing measures forced many stores to close temporarily and operate at a reduced capacity. In addition, JCPenney has been grappling with rising costs related to supply chain disruptions, labor shortages, inflationary pressures, and rent obligations. The company said that these challenges have impacted its margins and cash flow. Despite the challenges, JCPenney remains optimistic about its future prospects. The company said that it has been making progress on its strategic plan by opening new off-mall locations under its JCPenney Beauty concept, which will offer a curated assortment of beauty products and services tailored to local markets. Macy's will be the next retailer to close a handful of its stores in 2023. Macy's is one of the largest department store chains in the United States and has been struggling for several years. In 2020, the company announced they would be closing 125 stores, and this year, they plan to shut down another 20 locations. Macy's is also facing a decline in foot traffic, with more consumers turning to online shopping. Traditional department stores like Macy's are finding it increasingly difficult to survive. According to officials, affected employees of these store closings will be offered jobs at nearby locations or severance packages. When you are in the market for a new gadget or new device, Best Buy is likely one of the first retailers that comes to mind. But that may soon be a thing of the past. Best Buy is closing as many as 30 stores in 2023. The decision affects hundreds of jobs across the more than 900 U.S. stores that Best Buy operates. Many store workers that specialize in selling more complex products, such as computers and smartphones, often dubbed as consultants inside the company, were reportedly told their jobs would be eliminated. The tasks performed by consultants would be moved to a smaller number of employees with similar roles. Things are also rough over at GameStop these days. With falling revenues, rising costs, and an increasing number of customers switching to digital. GameStop laid off thousands of workers throughout 2022, leaving stores understaffed and remaining employees overworked. GameStop has been struggling for several years as gamers increasingly buy their games online rather than in physical stores. The company announced this March that they would be closing 300 stores this year. GameStop has been trying to diversify its offerings and move into digital gaming. Kohl's is another department store chain that is facing very tough times. Kohl's also announced that it had laid off 60 marketing and merchandising corporate employees. But the company has also been investing heavily in e-commerce to try and stay competitive. Even if you don't regularly take prescription medication, chances are you rely on over-the-counter meds and other drugstore remedies when you're feeling under the weather. You likely have a preferred pharmacy in your neighborhood that you turn to. Unfortunately, some Walgreens customers will soon have to make a switch, as a major drugstore chain is closing stores. The company has been facing challenges from online retailers such as Amazon, which are entering the pharmacy space. Walgreens has been investing its online presence, but it's struggling to compete with the convenience and lower prices offered by online retailers. Executives at Foot Locker have come up with a different plan to boost the company. They have confirmed that many underperforming mall stores will close in order to strengthen standalone stores. The company announced that it plans to close 400 stores in North America by the year 2026 as it rebrands part of its business. With so many still working from home, the need for office supplies has been greater than ever. It's easy enough to place an order online, but sometimes there's not enough time to wait for a delivery. That's when your local office supply store chain comes in handy. That is, as long as it's open. Office Depot is one of the leading retailers of office supplies, but the shift towards working from home has greatly impacted the demand for office supplies. The company has had to restructure its retail footprint, resulting in the closure of several locations. The closure started this February and will continue throughout 2023. Bookstores are often a favorite for readers, but with many shifting to e-readers or ordering from online retailers, it's become that much more difficult for brick-and-mortar bookshops like Barnes & Noble to stay up and running. Over the past decade, the bookstore company has shut down hundreds of stores, but the retailer hopes to turn a new leaf this year. Executives have confirmed that the company plans to open 30 new stores in 2023. So overall, 2023 will be a challenging year for the retail industry. Big retailers around the world will be shutting down locations, and some may even cease to exist. The rise of e-commerce and changing consumer preferences have impacted traditional retailers, and they have been forced to downsize and adapt to stay competitive. The closure of stores by these retailers will lead to a significant loss of jobs in the industry. As we enter this uncertain time, it is crucial for retailers to innovate and adapt to stay relevant in the face of changing consumer preferences and emerging technologies.